What up? Snapchat Q&A. Let's get straight into it and see what everyone's saying. Corbs John says, our strongest midfield, I'd say Marshall on the left, Mickey on the right, Herrera and Pogba in the middle. I'm not sure you're going to see us playing a four-man midfield in all honesty, so I think a three-man midfield, I really like the sound of Pogba with Herrera behind him, and then that other place I'm still not entirely set on. I thought Carrick with Herrera and Pogba, but I do like Herrera in that deep line role, so I'm more leaning a little bit more towards Herrera getting that role, especially more long term, because Carrick, let's face it, hasn't got long term all over him, has he? So I don't know. Aidan Corrigan, do we need to win on Monday to boost fan morale and opinion of the team? If we do win on Monday, we can go above Liverpool. Think about that. Think about the length of time that Jurgen Klopp's had. Think about the wank fest that you're seeing in the media. It should boost fan morale and it should change people's opinion of us if we do get a win. Getting a win's a different story though. Rogers 1875 says, alright Howson, what teams in the Premier League do I think will be relegated this season? I thought Hull. I really thought Hull. Swansea don't look great. I haven't put a lot of thought into it, to be completely honest with you. I might do something overall on Premier League, like a separate standalone video, because I think that's worth discussing. Hit me up on Reddit and let's have a chat about it in the Reddit. So obviously this is a Snapchat Q&A, but obviously trying to get the Reddit group going big with more in-depth sort of discussions as well. Daniel100 say, will you play PES 17? Do you know what? I might do. I might grab it and just see, because I was PES all the way, or Pro Evo as I called it, all the way until like last season's FIFA. That was the first time I got FIFA, was last season. So it's my excuse for being shit at it at least. Lex Onley says, do you think the Chinese Super League will be the next Premier League in 10 years' time? I think it needs a little bit more history than that, and I don't think you can just turn it into that overnight. Look at the MLS. It's doing well, it's getting there, but no one's going there in their prime at the moment. The prestige, the honour and all the rest of it. An example is, look at Liverpool. Liverpool are still able to attract top-class players despite not being really competing for the league or winning the league for a quarter of a century, because the prestige is there. It's all in place, isn't it? So I think you'll find it extremely difficult to make the Chinese Premier League the way the Premier League is right now. That's not to say that I don't think it can be popular, because obviously the population of China alone means that they're going to be flooded with fans. But to get to the level the Premier League is in terms of the worldwide audience and all the rest of it, that's difficult. I do think it will end up being a success. Joshua Malika says, do I think sending James Wilson on loan was a mistake? We clearly need a centre forward in the 23s. There's a balance to be made here, with him only getting a few starts at Derby. There's a balance to be made here in terms of what's better for the player and what's better for the team. Would it be better for the team if James Wilson stayed and led the line for the under-23s? 100%. Is it better for James Wilson to do that? Not at all. So you have to balance what's best for the player versus what's best for the team. Some players are kept in the under-23s because that's where they're going to develop the most, and that's fine. I think that's the younger players. You're looking at the Axel Tuanzebes and players like that. Players that might need or might not be able to get game time. James Wilson's a player that can go out and get game time somewhere else, but somebody else might not be able or be ready to get that game time elsewhere. So it's better that they are in the under-23s. There isn't a one-size-fits-all for bringing players through. Some can come through one way, some can come through another way. There's no right answer. It's all entirely individual and up to the player. Ahmed Wrestling says, predict the final of the Champions League and Europa this year. Europa, no idea, and honestly don't really care that much if I'm being honest. Champions League. I'd like to think Bayern Munich are going to have the same where this goes. But then it's never the best two teams or the best team ends up winning it. It's always a little bit of a mixture. Someone a little bit surprising ends up getting through to the final. I wouldn't be shocked. If Arsenal went quite far this year, but not win it. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Bayern Munich beat Arsenal in the final. How about that one for a bit of a left field one? Steve Spears says, me and my wife having a milkshake float. Nice. And there it is. What's the float? Is it just ice cream on top? Nat Prendergast says, opinions on foreign season ticket holders, good or bad for the club? Why would it be bad? As long as you're a United fan and you've always been a United fan, and do you know what? There might even be extenuating circumstances for that you can allow. Like if you was brought up, Jaden didn't get an opportunity to choose another football team. He was told he was going to be a United fan. Now, what if I'd have been wrong though? Because obviously I'm right being a United fan. But what if I was wrong? What if I'd took him to a club and he just didn't like that club whatsoever? And you have to look at the reasons why if you change clubs, and I think you have to take it on a case by case basis. But what if it was, if Jaden was supporting another club growing up, like he wasn't told by me, and he was like, Dad, I want to support Derby, and I'm like, Sheffield Wednesday, someone just fucking random like that, right? I'm gonna be like, well, here's the thing, you're not getting took to games by me. You want to come to Old Trafford? That's who I support. I'm going to Old Trafford. Not going to Sheffield Wednesday for you. So, if it was some sort of scenario like that, and the guy was, maybe the other way around, being took to Sheffield Wednesday because it was the only way he could get, and then when he grew up, the first season ticket, he was like, I want to be a United fan. I've kind of always been a United fan, but whatever. I think you can let it slide. The fact that you're born in another country is just a lottery. I got lucky. I'm born in Manchester. Not everyone gets lucky enough to be born in Manchester. I think if you're a foreign season ticket holder, that's awesome, because you're making a big financial investment of a commitment to come to games and a commitment to buying a season ticket that, let's face it, a lot of people in Manchester just don't fucking do. If you're happy with the input that you're putting into the team, then sound. But there's some people who can go to games who don't go to games. That's where and it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter if they're foreign or local. If you're not going to games and you can go to games, and here's the thing, if you don't go to games, you don't go to games. But there is differences between people who go to the games and who don't go to the games. And to deny that there isn't is just to be childish. And that's not to say someone's better or worse if they go, but there is an absolute difference. If you've got the opportunity to go to matches and experience matches and participate in the atmosphere of those matches, and you choose not to, well, there's clearly a difference between those who sacrifice the time. If you're unable to because you live in a foreign country, there's nothing anyone could do about that. But there is a difference between travelling to, say, a Southampton, and you have to get there for, you're talking a 5-hour journey, and you spend 5 hours, you get there a couple of hours early, you go and watch the game, you're hanging around for 2-3 hours, you might go and have a couple of drinks, and then you get on the road or you stay over in a hotel. That's a lot of effort, and people go, well, I can't do that. And when you go, sound, but the people who do, the likes of Pete Bolton, who've not missed a home game since the 70s, and who go to all the pre-season games, I'll my hands up and say, yeah, I can't do what he does. Whether that's financial with a lot of the European aways, or if it's just a case of, with the United aways, getting tickets is fucking gold dust. And at the moment, they're name-checking everyone. I don't want to get banned, so I probably won't be going to an away game this season. Pretty much guaranteed, unless I can speak to some execs who can sort me out an exec, and then I can actually get it put into my name. But I'm not risking getting a ban from United, so I just won't be going to aways because it's not worth it for me. If you're a season ticket holder and you're a foreign fan, like Barry, the doctor that I know from South Africa, the guy makes a trip handful of times every year. Unbelievable commitment. Is it easier for me to just get in a car and mooch a couple of miles down the road? Yeah. Do I deserve a pat on the back because I do that? No, I fucking choose to do that. Does he? Maybe coming 4 or 5 times out of his year to spend 4 or 5 days in Manchester to go and watch the football? No, it's his fucking choice. But you have to respect the commitment. I don't know. It's a fucking hornet's nest, isn't it? Because people always want to throw their individual circumstances in it and just shrug shoulders and say, look, there is a difference. There's a difference between, going to Anfield on Monday night, watching the team lose, and having to negotiate your way all the way back through fucking Liverpool on the train and all the rest of it. That's different to being able to just go, oh, that was shit. His friend's on the other channel. It's different. And like I said, it's not. No one's saying better or worse. It is different though. But if you're a foreign season ticket holder, then fair fucking play. Because like I said, there's people in Manchester that don't put that sort of input in. Because you can get season tickets at United now. Away tickets is where the nightmare is. Getting a season ticket's a piece of piss, to be honest now. Shahimic, probably ruined that. Do I think Angel Gomez is just as talented as Ravel? It's already gone off screen. As Ravel and Pogba. Yes, he's controlling games to the same sort of level that they was. Not even as young as he is, actually, at this level. So I've got to say yes, absolutely. Lucas Small, who will win the Golden Boy this year in your opinion? I actually think Rashford's got a very good shout at getting it, to be honest. I really think Rashford's got a hell of a shout at getting it. Whether or not, there's a lot of talk that Renato Sanchez is going to get it. He's not really played a great deal of games. Who knows? It's a popularity vote, isn't it? So it could go anywhere. Ryan, I think this is a video.
I have a pen. I have an apple. Apple pen.
Magic. You fucking nutter. Jamie Rolfe says, Rooney stay or go, who could replace him? Well, he's not in starting 11 at the moment, is he? So I don't think anybody replaces him. I'd let him go at the end of the season. Alsani says, would you rather play Blind or Shaw at left back? I don't know. I do not know. I thought I knew. I don't know. I don't know, and then I don't know whether if I decide for Shaw, does Blind play over one of the other centre halves? I don't fucking know. Conundrum. Big conundrum. Someone's going to have to make a big decision, and that's why Jose Mourinho gets paid about $5 million a year. Swag says, can we play 4-3-3 and fit Mickey T as a winger, French San Devil? Yes, I think we can. Not sure Monday night's the game to do that, though. Mars MH says, the other day you shrugged off Liverpool challenging for the title. To be fair, they look deadly. Aren't you nervous about Monday? I am. I'll shrug them off again, watch. There you go. Shrugged them off again. They've got no world-class players. None. You don't win the title without world-class players. And before anyone says Leicester, Kante and Mahrez, world-class players. Kasper Schmeichel might be on the cusp of world-class as well. And they played excellently as a team. Now, Liverpool are playing pretty good as a team. Lack of world-class players. Lack of talent. At some point, they'll run out of gas. Like we said Leicester was going to do last year, but these actually will, I think. Little old Lamb says, what do I think about us signing Zlatan's sons? If they're good enough and they've been signed, sound. I don't want to talk about the players' kids that are in the academy. I've seen a lot of people going to town on the fact that Wayne Rooney's kids in the academy. Sound. What I will say is, when you hear of people sending their sons to the academy, can I just stop you there? That doesn't happen. Where people said, Van Persie and Phil Neville chose, and Fletcher I think might have been one of them, chose to send their kids to the Manchester City Academy. No, 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 no. You don't choose to send your children to the academy. They have to be scouted, and they have to be good enough. And I would hope that Manchester United have looked at those kids and have gone, they're not good enough. Let's City have them. And I'm pretty sure they would have been first choice to go to United. Why would they have been first choice to go to City? You don't choose to send you. This isn't Saturday League. You don't just rock up to training, pay your £5 subs, and then you go. You got a fucking polo shirt, and you're part of the squad. Academies are apprenticeships for football, for professional footballers. If Zlatan's kids and Rooney's kids have been selected by Manchester United to be good enough to that part of that side, then I wish them all luck with their careers in the future. Simple as that. But it's fucking 10 years away at least. So relax. Let's get another one up. Quite a few left. Matt Harvey. Any knowledge on sport in Australia, NRL, A-League or Socceroos? Used to watch NRL quite a lot. Used to watch, and still kind of do catch the Origin, but I have no idea about the players that's in there at the moment. I just like watching the game. It's one of the most intense games of rugby in the world. Fucking brilliant. Don't watch Aussie Rules, although I can appreciate how tough it is. It's kind of a weird game for me. I don't watch cricket, and I've not watched the Australian football, proper football, soccer. So only NRL and State of Origin, really. Philip Maguire says, will Rashford be better than Marshall? Who the fuck knows? The way he's playing, I don't know. I could say one thing, he'd prove me wrong in 2 weeks. Nedved said he regrets not going to United in his career. Do you think he would have been a good fit at the club? I was thinking about this the other day because he won a Ballon d'Or in 2003, I think. In 2003, we would have, I think we still had Veron. So we would have had a midfield of Keane, Veron and Scholes. Where do you fit Nedved into that? So, yeah, he was a fucking class footballer. But you can't have everyone, can you? So, if he regrets it, he regrets it. And maybe it might have changed the course of that mid-2000s for us. But what will be, will be. Good footballer, Nedved was, though. Ben Quinn says, 3 seasons of Moyes or 3 seasons with Van Gaal. Van Gaal, all day. Van Gaal got boring in terms of that he didn't want to adapt the way he was playing. But his basic principle was right in a lot of ways. He had the plan, he had the confidence to carry it out. He was excellent against the top 6 sides. If he could just figure it out against the lower level sides, would have been fine. He was fucking excellent against the top 6 sides, the best record. So it was boring, but we've seen 0-0s at home under Jose Mourinho this season. Now you might say that's a little bit down to Van Gaal. You might also say that the squad either A isn't good enough or B just needs a bit more time. Jordan Henshaw 7 says, in your opinion, who's the 3rd best goalkeeper in the world? I'm assuming you put in Big Dave at number 1 and that German fella at number 2. Navas has looked decent for Madrid. I don't know. There's a lot of goalkeepers out there, isn't there? To really come up with an answer to that. Fella at Atletico's decent. Never really saw it with Ter Stegen. Doesn't excite me. I like Kasper Schmeichel. I don't know if you call him 3rd best in the world. I think he's maybe in the top 15 in the world, maybe, but I don't know. Tough question. Say Buffon's still in the mix. Jeff Noski says, Blind or Smalling for the rest of the season. Pick one. Fucking hell. I can't pick one, mate. Squad game. Pick one, Rooney. Rooney finally finished. He's not finished, but he's certainly not a starter for United no more. I'm going to have to wrap this up very soon. I've got a call to make. Trump or Clinton, who gives a fuck? They're both going to lead us down to World War III. Benja Bunny said, who would win in a verbal contest between McGregor and Zlatan? I think McGregor, because he's just on you constantly. Zlatan would come up with some fucking brilliant one-liners, but he's a lot more relaxed, I think. I think McGregor's just too quick for him. Caleb Sora says, what direction do you think United is taking it and what do you think the club will like after 5 years? Holy shit. Ask me that on Reddit and I'll answer that on Reddit because that deserves a longer answer than I'm able to give. Jay Butters says, ideal away day in leagues below the Prem. Keep up the great content. Thank you. And ideal away day. Somewhere I've not been. You said lower leagues, didn't you? So I can't pick a foreign one. Because I wouldn't have minded a trip to Ireland in Europa. That would have been fun. I know. Just somewhere well obscure. Somewhere with a tiny old wooden stadium or something like that. A place that's about to be knocked down or a place that's just been built or just something like that. Something that we've never been before. That would have been fun. Abrahami says, what was worse, losing Ronaldo to Madrid, Aguero's goal against QPR or losing Fergie? Aguero's goal. Losing Ronaldo sort of felt inevitable, so it did with Fergie. Aguero's goal, fucking hell, I think if you replay that, he's shinning that into the crowd 7 times out of 10, I reckon. mtoin123 says, what would my preferred starting 11 for England be if everyone was fit? Who the fuck cares? Amelia Laken says, thoughts on the Smiths? Not really my cup of tea. Taran says, do I think United can still win the league? I said no last week, didn't I? I think I was probably being a bit hasty. Yeah, there's a lot of time left in the league, anything could happen, but it's going to be tough. This season there's so many, there's already rumours that they're going to be binning Conte, isn't there? Alex Burton says, United formation versus Liverpool and why? 4-3-3 with 2 holding midfielders and Pogba going a little bit more free to counteract the high press from them and protect the back 4 because they're going to have numbers in and around that area. And I'm half of the belief that you should just play your own game and fuck the opposition, but that's also quite naive and you should really prepare for what the opposition's going to bring. Hopefully finish a couple of these. Ross Hayburn, still loading. Joe Blings says, do we stand a chance against the Scousers? Yes, we do. They concede a lot of goals. And if we can just be clinical, we'll smash them. Ross says, all-time favourite martial artist and current favourite. I think all-time favourite, you've got to have a lot of love for Bruce Lee. Anyone who's ever stepped on the mats has to have respect and love for Bruce Lee. Coming right behind him, Randy Couture. Fedor, Hoist Gracie for what he achieved. These are the all-time greats of the sport. And my current favourite, Rumble Johnson. Because that motherfucker hits. Kezcal8 says... Oh, it disappeared. No, it has disappeared. What is my World 11? Ask me on Reddit and I'll answer on Reddit. Kid Potter says, Onion Bargy rap should be interesting. Go on, son. For those of you like, what am I talking about Reddit? If you go to Reddit/r/Howson, that's podcast chat in there. So anything that you want a longer answer to, ask me in there. Starting lineup for Liverpool. Check out the preview of Full-Time Devils. Sammy Chowdhury says, Fergie or Jesus? Fergie. He was real. Big Boy Ayers says, do I think Dele Alli would make a good signing? Yeah, he might, you know. He might, you know. And custard creams for £1. Bargain. Ethan T says, opinion on the Sidemen and their content. Haven't really watched a great deal of it. Phenomenal what they've achieved in terms of the numbers that they've been able to amass. And the way that they've all supported each other is absolutely fantastic. So, well done to them. Anyone who hates on them for what they've achieved is just fucking a jealous little bitch. So, fair play to them. They've absolutely smashed it. I don't watch it, but I'm not going to hate on them. So, happy days, lads. Kelboff21. Winter is coming. No shit. Dan Dill09. Disappeared. Jamie J. Walsh says, thoughts on Brahim Diaz and Jadon Sancho. They're the only two players that I saw at the City Academy that I was like, they're legit. I saw Diaz in a 16s game, I think, first, and I was like, holy shit, he's good. And then Sancho's blown me away. He's a big old boy. Whether he can make the step up's interesting. Jordan O'Flynn says, Howson, who inspired you when I was a kid? Inspired me? I never really played football that much as a kid. I just played at school and with my mates in the street. I didn't play for a team because I was playing rugby. Who inspired me? Cantona was my favourite. Yeah, Cantona. Cantona all day long. Daniel Mulroy. This is the last one. Oh no. Is it just a million different photos of you and your mates doing daft shit? Thank you everyone who's got involved. What a weird one to end it on. Thanks to everyone who's got involved. If you've got anything or I've asked you to head over to Reddit, then please head over to Reddit. That's r/Howson. I'll throw a link in the description below and I will answer those questions over there. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Shitloads of content heading your way. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in a bit. Later.